fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I am looking at the reboot movie that I don't think many people were really asking for, but it actually has turned out really well, and that is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. In this new version, we get a Roger Rabbit-esque world, where rather than rebooting the whole show, they show us that the show is canonically a show, and Chip and Dale and the rest of the gang are all actors in this world. But after Monterey Jack goes missing after struggling with a cheese addiction, Chip and Dale have to dive into their in-character personas to try and crack the case and find their lost friend. So this has a very Roger Rabbit-esque approach to it. It is a world mixing up between animated characters from Disney's repertoire and real life individuals. And a lot of the jokes in this work really well. Obviously, the big one everyone talks about is Ugly Sonic. And I love this idea of a world where all these cartoon characters, after the shows have ended, are us going to these separate Comic Cons. I absolutely loved seeing Skeletor and He-Man doing a little panel together. And I love the way they establish why Dale looks really different, because going into it, I was wondering why does Chip look 2D and Dale look 3D, but it turns out it's a joke on plastic surgery. The jokes in this are really heartfelt, and the meta jokes are really well done. Just going to some dark places, including one specific character whose real life counterpart went through something very similar, and it could be seen as in poor taste, but this is something I only found out about after watching the movie and looking into it from someone else's recommendations. At the time watching the film, I just thought it was a genius bit of character development for a particular individual, especially when we look at Disney's history with child actors in the past. I would say the human performances are very lackluster in comparison to the anime. There's only really one major human character that bounces off the rest of the characters, and you can tell they're acting off just something that is not there, and it is rather unfortunate. It's definitely one of those things where without the eyeline of a fellow actor on set to match with these characters, it doesn't feel as genuine and fluid. And I have to say as well that whilst I do like Andy Samberg as an actor who can do comedic and dramatic perfectly, I couldn't help but feel like he was just playing himself when voicing Dale and not actually playing the character of Dale. It's a weird one because it is established that Monterey Jack and Gadget have the exact same voices they had in the show, but Chip and Dale have these different voices, and the squeaky voices were just there for the show that they were in. And it was great to see they did bring the original voice actor back to voice those little snippets, but stripping away the squeakiness to their voice to bring us two main personalities doesn't really work as well for me, and it did drag me out of the film a lot, especially on Andy Samberg's side of things. Don't get me wrong, chemistry between Chip and Dale is as palpable as ever, and I love the references they make to all those obscure episodes, and even daring to give us hope there was more than 100 episodes, when in actual fact the show only ran for about 65 episodes, I believe. But it was still nice to hear the show's theme again, and seeing these characters back again, it just made me want to go back and watch that movie from many, many years ago. At times, it can rely too much on the meta commentary, and some of the jokes are stretched out and don't really have any full fruition. I think my favorite joke in this was a Seth Rogen joke. They make a big running joke about the Polar Express eyes being weird and such, and seeing this character of that is voiced by Seth Rogen being roasted by other Disney characters that Seth Rogen has voiced was probably my favorite joke in this whole film. And I do love the idea that Zippy the fly from the show couldn't speak does actually speak in this, and has such a smooth voice that you can't help but relate to why him and Gadget end up together. I do wish there was a bit more of Gadget in this. We see a lot of Monterey Jack at the middle, and Gadget isn't really called in to play until near the end of the movie, which I thought was a quite unfortunate bit of storytelling, because end of the day, as much as I love Chip and Dale, it's great seeing the whole gang together, and unfortunately, we only really see Monterey Jack in the first half, and we only really see Gadget in the last half. It's mainly a Chip and Dale story, and how these two childhood friends have grown up together and have separated and are trying to rekindle their friendship. That is something that works really well, and I did enjoy the pacing. And like I said, I do enjoy a lot of the jokes and the character references. Seeing Remy in the cheese area, where it's implied to be a crack den, seeing these Muppet characters going very, very serious. I think one joke I've seen going on around line is the heavy Italian accent going off, but moment Chip asks for some stinky cheese, he suddenly goes full like New York gangster voice. Really enjoyed that. Chemistry, really good. The pace was really nice, and a lot of the meta jokes were amusing. I had a lot of chuckles watching this, though it doesn't quite live up to the standards of Roger Rabbit, which is the first and best of this crossover into worlds premise. It definitely does meta jokes where it needs to, doesn't exclusively rely on saying here are these big properties. Every character that shows up is literally there to make a point or advance a story in some way, or just to exchange general normal conversation with someone without having to play the biggest hits. I think some of my biggest standouts were obviously Ugly Sonic, and I did love Lumiere's appearance as well. And again, He-Man and Skeletor were also great. To summarize my overall thoughts on this, it's really nicely done. The way the real world and the cartoon world blends together is really nice. Dale ends up looking very uncanny valley. I do kind of wish the film ended with him regressing back to his 2D form, but there's only so much that I guess they could have done. And I did get a little bit annoyed with the ending, how they reference, how they always make a serious version of the original theme, but without actually playing the original theme that everyone wants. I was hoping the film would go in opposite direction and actually play the original theme at the end, but no, it's a standard serious take on it. But yeah, Chip and Dale is a lot of fun. It's a sequel, it's a reboot that we were not expecting in any way, shape, or form. Was anyone clamoring for it? Don't think there was a wide amount of people clamoring for it, but I'm glad it exists, and it is a very fun, easy watch movie. I'm gonna have to say that for me, Chippendale Rescue Rangers is a tea that needs more sugar. So Chippendale, have you seen it? If you have, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Were you more of a Chip guy or a Dale guy? Do let me know. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more reviews like this coming all the time. We have Top Gun Maverick coming tomorrow, which I cannot wait to bring you all. But until next time, my name is Josh. I have been Movie Apprentice. I'll see you all in the next one.